Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to have the opportunity to present our research in this context. So, I would like first to thank the conference committee for this opportunity. The present study analyzes an experience of music and movement according to some constructivism learning principles in a flow experience perspective. As well known, the role of movement is central in the musical thought from many points of view. In the field of music education, recent studies argue about the intertwined relation with psychological and neurological aspects, and it's important to stress the Jacques Dalcroze and Rudolf Laban thought about movement and music, especially from the expressivity point of view. For the reasons above, the present research focuses and analyzes the role of motivation in learning and engaging process in a discovery and learning-oriented way of achievement of knowledge and competencies according to the constructivism assumptions in educational field by focusing on the integrity of the learner as a unity of mind, body, and emotions. Motivation, intrinsic and intrinsic, is recognized as a crucial factor in the construction of individual knowledge. Thus, the motivation is implicated as a necessary prerequisite to stimulate the need to learn. Personal enjoyment, enjoyment-oriented discovery, and self-efficacy approaches seem to be powerful motivators beyond childhood. Intrinsic motivation is closely related with the assumptions of Csikszentmihalyi that he synthesizes in the flow experience definition. As we all know, the flow experience represents the condition in which individuals are totally involved in an intrinsically motivating activity. In this way, we started to reflect on the following issues. Are there significant differences in the activity of music and movement due to the use of an object? Could these differences be referred to a Dalcrozian thought about the correspondence between music and movement and to the analysis of the Laban's motion factors? Can we find significant differences in quality and variety of movement and in perception of musical parameters among children who practice music and children who practice dance? What are the most useful indicators in evaluating a flow experience in music and movement activities? Can we say that this kind of experience there has been a real intrinsic motivation and improvement from an academic point of view, such as hypothesizing a didactic path? A sample composed by two children studying music and two children studying dance, 8 years old, has been asked to perform with movement a chosen Jacques Dalcroze piano piece, according to a common procedure. Only with movement, movement with an object, a foulard, movement with a little percussion instrument, only with movement again. The only indication given has been in order to show the music to a diff. A questionnaire on the thinking about the performance and the experience has been administered to them. In order to survey the motivation and flow aspects, a video-based analysis focused on the specific indicators identified in these topics was made. The performances are analyzed with a great spirit by the motion factors proposed by Laban and to the musical parameters identified as Dalcrozian subjects. The academic goal is improving the quality of the movement according to the Laban analysis, from the first to the last performance, and to show the different music parameters such as understanding of the piece. In order to identify the essence of the intrinsic motivation in the activity, we observed the four behaviors recognized as indicators of intrinsic motivation by the scientific community about this topic. Intuitively, it's very difficult to quantify a flow experience in a short experience of music and movement. For this reason, the parameters of flow mentioned above were observed directly and through the video recorder, trying to find the most significant parameter. After the activity, a teacher gave a sort of questionnaire in an open question interview. The results about the intrinsic motivation show that all the parameters are satisfied by the subjects. The activity was structured in 4 repetitions of the same piece, listened to once before the performance. This kind of repetition could have caused boredom or fatigue, but there was no moment of lacking attention or energy in the whole procedure. The children were totally involved in the activity without showing any element of distraction or desire to do something else. The answers of the interview confirmed the results of observation. The children were amused and involved in a creative state in which they reflected about articulated topics that the teacher has not had the need to explain. The same considerations can be made about flow observation. As said before, in the criterion exposition, it's significant the enthusiastic behavior of the children in anticipating the indications of the repetition and extension of the activity, for example, with other objects or other pieces. From an academic point of view, the results of movement analysis show that the effort elements are quite the same in lightweight, free flow, indirect space in all performances. Instead, significant differences can be identified with regard to the body category, movement actions and use of the body parts, and to the space category. Body movement analysis show a significant difference in arms movement in the different performances. While the lower part of the body is active in all performances, arms acquire energy and amplitude, especially in the performance with the foulard, and the movement of the arms is preserved mostly in the last performance. From these results, the analysis focuses on the second performance, the one performed with a foulard, which is fundamental for the variety of movement and the mastery of personal and general space. The music parameter most stressed by all the subjects is phrasing. We can note that all the music parameters are shown more and more clearly in the last performance, with significant differences between the first and the second performance. To answer to the starting questions is, there are significant differences using an object. It imagines that a tool could change a movement performance likewise in body activity and in musical realization. There are many differences between the first and the second performance, and the results stress particularly the importance of the movement of arms that is extended and improvement with the object. Thus, the use of the object can be interpreted as an extension of the physical figure in the space. The results don't show significant differences between dancers and musicians. The actions have been carried out in a personal way by the subjects. Each of them has revealed a style of individual movement, hence an exclusive and original relationship with the object. These results encourage us to think about this kind of activity as didactic activities, because the use of objects facilitates the body's response to the music and improves perceptive and learning projects in an amusing and expressive way. The results show that we can recognize an intrinsic motivation in the present activity, and we can also recognize a flow experience for the subjects. The elements we identify as fundamental for these findings are the role of the teacher as a facilitator, the instructions in open and symbolic mode, last but not least, the holistic way in understanding music by means of the body. According to the constructivist principle, these findings are realized in an active learning process. They are combined with the learning goals of didactic achievement through experience in an active interaction with the world, in new acquisition construct utilizing elements of knowledge that learners already have. Thank you for your attention. Best from Italy.